Hello, hello, hello. I'm live. Long time no see. I'm just going to move this way a little bit. All right. So if you're watching the replay, welcome to my channel, Devin Rex for Art here, also known as Yolande. And I'm going to be saying hello to people in chat. If you want to see the project, you might want to zoom forward. Today we're going to be doing some botanical gel printing using weeds, and then hopefully doing a collage with that. But first I'm going to show kind of what I've been up to. I've been missing for a while, been on vacation and things like that. Hi View, good to see you. Let's see, how's my camera? I might just zoom in a smidge. It looks different on my phone than it does on the screen. Hello Apple, good to see you. Hi Laverne. Just having my coffee. And this is a reverse collage I did in my main reverse collage book called Unforgettable Ancient Sites. I'd say it's my main one because I did buy a compilation of abandoned that Dee Dee has. Like, she's got a lot of abandoned Dee Dee Willingham, and I just found a compilation one a couple months ago, but I haven't started in that. Hi Keeks, hi Vanessa, hi Beth, hello Pinka. Penka, we're going to be doing some botanical gel printing today. Check out Penka on Instagram. She does amazing botanical gel prints. This is the page. I've been kind of streaming. I think the last time I streamed was with Anne Lar on her channel, and I had started this collage. Hi, Carla. Hi, Christina. Did I say hi? I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to show you, I took a photo of this from the screenshot when I was on Anne's channel. So it's not the greatest, whoopsie. But you can see here, I wanted to show this cat before. So this cat was from a collage soup book. And this is stuff just glued down, but I didn't add anything to it yet. So after the stream ended, this was on the last week of June, I think, or the week before, I think last week of June. So you can see this cat here from Collage Soup. It just was his head, and there was a weird landscape. So I just kind of I just tore him out, whoops, like the shape of a cat, of a body. And then what I found that was fun is I then filled in his body, just starting to plug in this in again. Hi, Vale. I ended up filling in his body using the Languo gel pens. So if you can see, this is where he was ripped, and then I gave him little paws, and I kind of tried to blend in the colors to those, and then this little hook was in the image, so I just kind of made that into his tail. So I was pretty happy with how that turned out. I did spray like a matte fixative on this, but I haven't done the varnish on it yet. So this was lots of fun. So I added a lot of these details with acrylic paint markers, but mostly the Languo gel pens. Thanks, Vale. And then I, used this. This is like a portal going through these robots to these two beings, and they're under their control. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Carla, you're going to carry us in your pocket. Cool. Usually we're on your TV. Oh, it's warm out today, so I'm a bit warm. I went outside to collect some weeds for our gel printing. All right, so I'm going to show what I've been up to. So I've been missing. I was away on vacation first. I went to Prince Edward Island. Well, I went to Montreal for my husband had a conference there, and then I went to Prince Edward Island to visit his parents. And while I was there, I did, when I was in PEI, I did this ink and wash from a photo I took when I was in England on a cruise. Hi, Beth. I hope I'm close enough. And then this is a postcard I got at a store in Montreal. This is an abstract doodle thing I did just in the hotel room. I had a gold gel pen with me. And then this I worked on, it's a picture from Montreal, but I worked on it when I was in Prince Edward Island. Actually, this was done while I was in Montreal. This was a photo from Montreal, but I did it when I was in Prince Edward Island in PEI. And there's photos of this on my Instagram. And then in Prince Edward Island, this is a sticker from the cow store there. This I actually did plein air, so I decided to use a washi tape to make it a bit smaller and more manageable because I don't do a lot of plein air. Like I have high hopes always to do urban sketching and plein air sketching, but then I don't do it. So this was actually done outside at a picnic table overlooking this view. The lupins, there's no lupins there, but I threw them in there just because it was PEI. And then I kind of finished up the fence post or the posts and the rope with the gel pen once I got back to our place. Hi, Shaz. So I enjoy urban sketching, landscape sketching. This was just a notepad my in-laws had. I thought it was really cute. And I thought it was Emma Ball, and I just thought that would be fun to maybe paint those someday. And then this was a picture I took in Prince Edward Island in North Rustico. That's near where my in-laws live. So I spent many years walking the boardwalk down to the harbor. So I've always wanted to paint these little fishing shacks. So I finally did it from a photo, but I did it when I went back to Montreal. I'll talk about that in a second. So this is a picture from PEI. Sorry about the ads there. So this is a picture from PEI, but I painted it while I was back in Montreal, which I'll talk about in a second. And then this was just an abstract piece I did while in Montreal. The center part is with the Elegant writer. I don't have one in front of me. It's like a black pen, and then when you activate it with water, it separates into different colors. And then I used some Daniel Smith watercolors and a gold gel pen. So I took out some of my favorite colors from my Daniel Smith palette, and I put them in this Jane Davenport tin because I had 3 palettes of Jane Davenport. I moved them all to a bigger tin. So this is like my travel tin, and I put in different paints depending on what I think my mood's going to be. So these were the paints that I brought with me. I made sure to bring this red iron oxide because the earth in Prince Edward Island is very red. So that's what I used. So now that I'm home, I'll probably put these back in my Daniel Smith palette. Yes, Beth, they're fun, aren't they? So that was all I've done in my travel sketchbook. While I was in Prince Edward Island, I like picking up art there, or going to art galleries, and I did buy these 2 prints. They're actually of an artist that does felt art or fiber arts, and I thought these were really pretty, so I picked these up. And I've got a bunch of postcards from where I travel, and I'm hoping to get some little postcard holders and like put them in my living room. So I thought those were very pretty. Hope the lighting is okay. So that we might use as inspiration today. I'm not sure. And then that was a cute little bag that they gave me my purchase in. All right, where are we at? So the other thing was, so after we got back from PI, we had a week at home. That's when I streamed with Beth and did this page here that I just showed. I don't know where it went. Anyways, I showed this at the beginning. This page here, I did that on Anne Lars' channel. And then we left the next day to go back to Montreal for my husband to have hip surgery at a private clinic because he's been waiting 9 months and hasn't even got a consult here. And it would be another 6 months before consult, and then another 10 months before surgery. So we just decided to just go to Montreal and just get it done. So we got back, it was on Monday was the surgery. While he was actually in surgery, I played in this little Cute and Cozy book while I was sitting in the waiting room. So I did this when I was waiting for him to have surgery, and it was a good distraction and nice and small and portable. And I just used my King Art gel pens to do this. I didn't use a water brush or anything. It was just all the gel, not gel pens, felt tip pens. Hi, Sherry. So these, oh, here's Elegant Writer. So that's what I used on that other piece there. So I just used these, mostly the fine tip end, but a bit of the brush, some areas. So I did that while he was having surgery. So that was on Monday, June 29th. And then we just got back on Friday. So this is my first stream back. And then I'm going to be streaming. So that's why Anne streamed last week for me because I wasn't here. So I'm going to stream today and next week. And then Anne's going to stream on the 22nd. And then we're going to be together on Anne's channel again on July 29th. That's the plan. Also in this book, I did a few other pages. I started this page here. And that was using the felt tip pens and a water brush. And then I think I'll add some dots in the background. So that one's not quite done. So that's why I just penciled in the date. I didn't put the completion date in pen yet. And then I also did this one. I think I started this in the waiting room as well because it was taking a while. So that again is with the felt tip pens. I had just done cross hatching, and then when I got back to the hotel room, I activated them with water. So I've not decided if that is finished or not. I feel like I might just call that finished. So that's in this cute little book. It's got really good paper. It's not Amazon paper, it's thicker paper. And it's a great on the go, keep your fingers and your mind busy. What else? Hey, Zen-Jen. While we were in Montreal before surgery, we did a little bit of walking around, and there was an art store called Desserts, and we don't have a Desserts in Edmonton anymore. So I went to the art store and I bought this coloring book, and I've seen Dee Dee Willingham color in this. So it's got these cute little girls. So I'm gonna, and it's very thick paper. I think it's good for watercolor and probably pan pastel. So I've got that. And then I realized that it's actually, I think it has duplicates. Yeah, so here it starts over again. So it has the same pictures again. So I'm gonna give some of these to my sister to color. Speaking of my sister, she's been really getting into coloring lately. So she actually purchased this book for me, and she purchased one for herself. And we chose a book page to do a buddy color. And I finished it and I posted it yesterday. And I don't know if you can tell, but I used the glitter gel pens, of different colored glitter gel pens on the water, on the lines of the water, the sun, the birds, and the pebbles. So I'm going to bring this up. I don't know if it's showing on camera. There, you can kind of see the glitter. So I really enjoy mixed media coloring, inspired by Dee Dee Willingham and a lot of other people. I thought it was kind of fun. I don't know why this octopus is holding up this little magnifying glass, but I decided to make him like burning the page of this book. So this was colored with Neocolor 2s on the sky, and then a layer, and then I put the Neocolor 2s and I burnished them to activate them dry. And then ink tints for the sea, ink tints on the beach and the cliff, and then the rest was colored with Prisma pencils. Hi, Carol. Hi, Anne. So that's, yeah, and I was pretty happy. I posted this on Instagram, and Rita Berman actually commented, and she put it up in her stories. So that was exciting for me. This is my first Rita Berman book and my first Rita Berman page, and it's a fun book if you haven't seen it. It's kind of like a whimsical style. This one is Europa. It has lots of cool images, and like this reminds me of London, I guess. Oh, Bruges. This is Bruges. I guess it tells you where you are. And then there's one, this one here reminds me of Amsterdam. So I've got lots of future playtime in this book. So thank you to my sister for purchasing that for us. This is a bookmark I won from Dee Dee Willingham. Cam had colored this one, and then I ended up coloring this one, the backgrounds with watercolor, and I don't remember what I did for the coloring. I feel like it was, I don't know. I think it's colored pencil. So I just wanted to show that. And I also won this in a Dee Dee giveaway, this Bee Lady, and these are from Collage Soup Book. So we're just doing a show and share, and then we're gonna do some gel printing using weeds to make some botanical gel prints. I'll get to those in a second. The other thing I did at some point was I worked in this Dollar Tree watercolor book, and I used the Gansai Tambi graphite in the background, and then some Sumi ink, and then some watercolor from Art Theory that I ordered from Etsy. These ones are color shifting. I don't know if you can see it going from blue to purple. So that was fun. So that's these ones here. So it's Art Theory on Etsy. She's in India. These ones that change color, these color shifting ones, they actually look just as good on white as they do on black. So those are pretty cool. And they're on like a metallic magnetic thing. So I put those ones in here. She provides the tin, but you have to kind of organize it yourself. It is a great price, and the quality is quite good on this watercolor book. And then these are some metallics I got as well. I got like a 20 grab bag and like a kind of, you don't know what you're going to get, but it's a pack of 20. And then I ordered these 3 colors separately. These look a bit different on the black paper versus the white paper. Some of them I like a lot better on the white paper. So it's important if you have metallic or color shifting watercolors or paints to swatch them on both black and white to see how they differ. Okay. So we'll do more on that at some point. Okay. Da 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 da. Carol is finishing up painting her house, so she's not going live today. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know. I might, because I've got all this stuff to show, I might be a little late getting off. But Carol usually streams at 3 Eastern, but not today because she's painting her house. So my hubby's downstairs recovering from hip surgery, and he has another month off after today. These we did on my channel in May, and then I put them in this Delusions book on this craft paper. So this one has the different colored backgrounds. I kind of use it more like a scrapbook. I don't really work directly in there. It's more like somewhere where I glue down my prints. And then I added some stamps around it. So that's Geraldina and Gina. You guys helped me with that. And then the last time I went live on my channel, I had done a bunch of image transfers. So this is one of the image transfers we did. This is a piece of magazine that was left over after an image transfer. So I had some magazine images sitting on my desk, and this was from a coffee table book, I think. I don't remember, but I decided I'm going to just glue them down here. I have this hanging around in my stash. So I just wanted to show you that, you know, after the stream, I do sometimes keep going, and I'm pretty happy with that. I have one more of those girls left. So I don't know, we might use her at some point. We're almost caught up. We're almost caught up. Okay, and then this is a coloring book, PG's Creations, and It's Chris Clue's sister that made this book. And I think I did a flip through of it a month ago. So this is one page I did using alcohol markers and maybe some gel pens. So it's sort of that technique where it's like a bubble, but I put a fish here instead. So that was fun. And then this was in June, and then this was in June while I was in Montreal, I think, when my husband was getting his surgery. He spent a lot of time in the hotel room after. So he was watching World Cup soccer. Thank goodness for World Cup soccer, because that has kept him distracted and entertained. And so he'd watch a game, have a nap, watch a game, have a nap. So I did the cross-hatching technique that I learned from Cat and Paste. And that's done with my King Art fine liners and some polychromos and a white gel pen. So I was pretty happy with that. So to go from, something pretty plain to something more intricate was fun for me. Hi, Jess. Yes, please catch the replay. So I was pretty happy with that. It's not perfect. It's definitely not up to Cat and Paste level, but for me, I was happy with that. I think before I did that one, I had done this one when I was in Prince Edward Island, using the King Art markers and the polychromos. And then I think I finished it when I got home, and I had in between the two trips, and I had my Language gel pens. I think I finished it up. So I was pretty happy with that. So that's posted on Instagram. So I've been having lots of fun with the mixed media coloring. So that's, again, that Cat and Paste, the cross-hatching technique. So heavily inspired by her. I like how that leaf turned out. I like the toucans, how there's you can see other colors in there if I bring it closer. It's hard to post a good picture on Instagram. So that's just kind of the details. So that was some coloring fun. And then my last bit of coloring news. Hi, Inked Pulp. Is Lena here? Hey, Lena, good to see you. Group hug to you. I'm participating in Piggy Pen's collab #2, where she's assigned people pages from Emily Lita Hall Oberg's new book, Fantasy World. And so I have my page assignment. So I'm not going to show you that. We're not supposed to show it. She's going to be releasing a video like she did for #1. But what I did do is I played on the back page just to play with different products to see how they work on this paper. And I have to say, this paper is really good. There's no bleed through. I used Distress inks with water, Distress oxide inks with water. This is watercolor, like some Daniel Smith watercolor here. Some King Art gel sticks with a bit of water, some Language gel pens, and some King Art gel sticks. And then I splattered with some watercolor paint. I stamped using because it was just blank. The only illustration on this page was this book. So I decided to stamp in the foreground with these poppy stamps from Stamping Up. So I stamped those in purple archival ink. And then I stamped some trees. They didn't really work great. So then what I ended up doing was putting Neocolor 2s on the stamps and stamping them again, and then going in and adding some details. And then a bit of purple Distress ink along the edges and in here. And then more paint, more water splatter. And then this gold spritz here. I'm gonna go get that. That is this product by Ranger that I forgot I had. I know Colorful Country Life uses a a gold mist spray, and I was hoping, this is a bit not as fine as that, but this is the Distress Spray Stain Tarnished Brass. And it's not as fine of a mist. So I don't know if you can see that. So, and a white gel pen. What else? So that was fun, just to, kind of get the book broken into, like getting some color on one of the pages. It's a beautiful book. You can check out Piggy Pens. She had the first collab was filmed and released a couple weeks ago, I think. And then collab 2, I believe, is going to be in August. Hi, Dee Dee. You have to watch the playback. I showed a bunch of coloring books and reverse collage and a bunch of stuff. So check it out, and some of your giveaway stuff as well. Okay, so I can't tell you which page is mine. Piggy Pens wants everybody to just keep it a surprise until she does her video. So I'll be working on that. I think I've picked out my color scheme. So I'm excited to start that. Jane said she has started working on her page for the collab. She was in collab 1, and so was View. So check out their pages. And Craft-A-Lanch. Okay, so I got my weeds. We're going to do some gel printing. Here's some inspiration. I'm hoping to do some abstract landscapes. This one I did a year ago after going to PEI. This was on the gel plate. This was more of like a watercolor technique with acrylic paint. So we're not doing that today. We're going to do more, make individual prints and then collage them, kind of like this one. Although this one, some of these are collaged straight onto the gel plate and then picked up with paint. But so something like that. I don't know if I'm going to do vertical, horizontal landscape or vertical. We'll see what the prints dictate. Okay, so, and I've also got out the Woodland Wonders, so we might use that for inspiration or for some extra collage bits. So let's start by making some papers. So let's put that there. Okay, and I'm gonna let's reveal our weeds. So I try to shake them outside to make sure I don't have a bunch of bugs, but I can see there's a few bugs. I'm just gonna squish. You know what, maybe I won't reveal them. I think I'll keep them trapped in here and reveal them as we go so that I don't have any critters around my room. Any critters will get annihilated by acrylic paint. So we're gonna keep those. They're just weeds, so it's no big whoop. All right. Hi, Lisa Minglet. Good to see you. Long time no see. Hi, Linda. So Linda is my friend that I color with. She also did a page, not in this book, but kind of like this. If you check her on Instagram, she doesn't post her coloring, but we're color buddies. And I don't have live bugs, but there's little tiny no-see-ums that are on the weeds that I collected from outside. So I don't want them in my room. Does anyone know what folder to show with the landscape collages? So this folder here is, what is the brand? Dee Dee just showed a brand. Hers is bigger. I think it's the same brand. I just got it on Amazon. Do I have the brand written anywhere? I don't. If you look under portfolio, I just keep some of my favorite gel prints every year in this type of portfolio. So this is 2025, 2026. So if you put your papers in while they're still a little bit damp, you get wrinkling. So now I try to wait. I try to wait until they're fully dry before I put them in here. Like this one was pretty dry. Anyhow, but if you check Instagram for portfolio, it comes in different sizes as well. Dee Dee got hers at Hobby Lobby. Yes, they provide texture, right, Jane? All right, this one still has some remnants on it from when we did all those transfers, so we're not going to worry about that. And so we'll work a couple plates at the same time. I'm going to start with some purple. I think I might be using mostly these Montmart, these little ones, because they're easy to pull out the different colors. Let me just grab a piece of paper to put under here so that you can see what we're doing. So that's my loose plan. I don't know exactly where it's going to end up. So if you get an ad, just press skip. YouTube has changed how they do their ads. So I'm just going to put some purple. And I should get some tracing paper ready, or some thin paper to do my smooshing. I'm going to use, this is pretty thin paper. It's like a masking paper for painters from the hardware store. It comes on a roll and it's pretty inexpensive. So my husband is recovering from his hip surgery. He's still using his walker, and so he can't carry things, but he's, you know, pretty mobile otherwise. And he tries to be, you know, quite self-sufficient. So I have to keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't try to do too much. But he's been pretty good at letting me get him things and do things for him. Well, I have, my portfolio is kind of my finished, my favorite pieces. That one's 2025. And then other things go into journals. So if I'm happy with something as is, I do just throw it in this portfolio. So like some of my favorite prints that I don't think, well, that's not a print, but I just kept them there. So for example, this is my 2026 folder. So I just have, you know, different prints in here that I usually do on stream, but then some end up going into my journals. Hi, Aubrey. K-pop, are you a fan of K-pop? Now this is more, a little bit brighter than I was thinking. It's more of a magenta. I was hoping for more of a purple. So Lisa's husband's recovering from surgery as well. I hope he's doing okay. So I'm just going to grab out things. We're going to make a bunch of papers, and then we're going to rip them up and collage them into an abstract landscape. So if there's any little critters on here, they will get embalmed in paint. So I first learned to do the botanical gel printing from Kathy Arbor. She doesn't really do any streams anymore. I hope she's still doing art. I know she does work in her garden. She has a gardening channel. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that paint. Do I need more light? I just added a little bit more light. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna just lift these up. And we can use them again. I'm going to let this dry. I think I'm going to put them in this baggie here that I had taken on vacation, just to keep anything contained and not get paint everywhere. So we're going to let that dry. Let's start on another one here. And we can put other, textures on that as well. Okay, so let's do a darker purple. Because like I said, that was more of a magenta. So Carol, my quiet corner, usually comes on at 3 Eastern, but she let us know that she won't be on today because she's still painting in her house. She used to do professional painting, like be a professional house painter. So she knows what she's doing. She's got, this was the dioxazine purple, Liquitex. I find Liquitex very easy and, it's not too expensive. Oh, that's way too much paint. That's going to take too many layers to lift up. So I'm going to roll some of that off onto here. So if you want to remove paint, you have to roll it off. If you have too much paint, you have to roll it off onto another piece of paper. Just moving it around isn't going to get rid of it, but it does help make it more smooth. So this is my first gel printing session since I've been back, or actually probably since my last live stream. All right, these guys. So I'm trying to make specific papers that we're going to rip up. So I'm trying to keep similar plants together. Okay, let's just grab a regular piece of paper. So this isn't a super thin paper. This is just a bit of copy paper. And I mentioned at the beginning, hi Marilyn. I mentioned at the beginning on Instagram, if you check out Penka's Instagram, she does a lot of really cool botanical gel prints. I'll try to link her in the description if I can remember. I'll link her Instagram. Hi, Star Traveler. Okay, it's easier to get all the details with a thinner paper. Okay, and sometimes you can lift these up and go back down, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to probably layer some of these. Okay, so I'm going to lift these up, and here there's a bit of flowers that fell off onto here, but I'm not going to worry about that. They're going to be encased in our gel print. Okay, so we got this one here. Still looks a little bit wet right there. Let me just use my fan. So these are just weeds from the neighborhood. We have a park, and along the park there's a trail in the park, but then the county decided, oh, we're just going to leave that grow naturally. So that means we're just going to let weeds grow there. So I have lots of weeds to pick from. And then on either side of our house is actually not developed. We were still waiting for neighbors, so we have lots of weeds there to pick from. I'm sorry you had some fails. Just do some easy stuff. You don't have to do anything super fancy. Yes, Jane, you recognize a lot of these weeds, right? I think these are called horsetails. They're like a grass. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do a layer on this one. Let's use like a lime green. Actually, no, maybe we'll pick it up with a lime green. Let's use a dark green. This is phthalo green. And then I want to put some more weeds down, and then we'll do another outline, I guess. See, I haven't been gel printing for a while, so I'm being a bit too generous with my paint. Okay, what else do we have in the bag here? Okay, how about these little thingies? I like these ones, they're kind of like vines. So I'm not being overly precious about placement. Ah! Okay, and let's go ahead with, do it over this one. And smush. So when you're using natural products on your gel plate, you want to make sure it's nothing with like an overly woody or sharp stems. Jane says, weeds are simply plants that are grown without pampering. Naturalized landscape. Cool. Hi, Irma. So I'm just trying to give it a good smush. I'm not trying to pick up the purple paint. I think what I might do, see, and then we're getting layers on there as well. I'm going to use this one here just to get a little bit more detail. In some spots. Okay. Let's pick this up and put it in our little bag to contain the naturalized creatures that might be living on these weeds. And then these ones are a little bit bigger. I could use tweezers, but I'm just using my fingers. So we'll let that dry and then we'll pick it up. Aubrey says that some of the prettiest plants are considered weeds. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. And we're gonna bring back our other one. Ah! Okay, now I wonder if I can brush off some of these. No, they kind of want to stay in there. So let's just go with it. All right, so let's do another layer on here. Let's do blue. Or how about this one? Aqua green. I like aqua green. And then we'll pull out some more plants. Do a couple layers. I do have a nice big hosta leaf that I plucked from my flower bed. So maybe we'll use those. Uh-oh, I'm gonna just wipe this because I don't want little chunks of flowers in there. So thanks for coming to hang out with me, everybody. It's good to see you all. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching the replay. So I just took off those little flower chunks. All right, let's try the hosta. I only have one leaf. So, uh-oh, I see something. One of the critters got away. I got it. So that's why I'm trying to keep everything contained. Because I shake them outside, but you can't really guarantee that you're not going to have you know, a few little critters. All right, so I'm putting it like the extra side down. What if we use a small brayer? And give it like a texture. I think I want more open spaces than that. I think once this dries, it'll probably be better for texture. So I'm just going to roll it over because the wet paint is not picking up the paint as much. So I'm just using some of the dry areas. So that's cool. And then we'll pick it up maybe with, I don't know what. Okay, so let's let that dry. And I'm gonna put it back in this little baggie that I have here on the side. I remember the first or second time, I can't remember, first or second time I did this technique for a video, and I had like a little worm on the plate and I freaked out and I paused it and I had my son come and pick the worm off and put it outside. And someone that watched the video left a comment about, you know, I shouldn't kill it. And I said, well, I didn't kill it. I just had my son pick it up. Like I don't like to kill bugs, but some bugs, you know, I'm not big fans of. I don't want them inside my house. Some people will use, you know, nice flowers, or let's say you get a bouquet, you can wait till you're, you know, starting to wilt a little bit, and then you can use it. Still feels a little wet, so I'm going to just use my fan. Do a little critter check. So far, so good. All right, so this we're going to pick up on a piece of paper, and I think I'm going to use that lime green color that I grabbed initially. I don't know where I put it though. You just look for it. I don't think it was this one. It was more of a yellow. Here it is, this one. We'll use this one. I want to get different values so that when I make my landscape, I can make either hills or trees or something. I don't know. We'll see what the prints tell us to do. So here I pushed too hard with the pickup paper, and I picked up some of this leaf here, like the stem, but that's okay. Thanks, Carla. You must be watching, well, you're not going to hear this because you're probably watching back a few minutes. I think she's talking about the cross-hatching coloring. No pokey bits on the gel plate. That's right. Unless you want to have permanent texture in your gel plate. All right, now when you pick up, you got to make sure the whole surface is covered because it's the wet paint that adheres the previous layers of paint onto your paper. Ooh, I like this color combo I have going on the side here. This lime green with the purple, magenta, and the teal. Very yummy. Okay, and then while it's still wet, you put this down and you give it a good rub-a-dub. It's a cute little fan, isn't it? And it's rechargeable, has a little stand, and then it has a little port there that you plug it in, so you're not having to change batteries all the time. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. Okay. right. And here I'm thinking maybe we use like a light Naples, like a Naples yellow, like this sort of light color. Yes, so I find the fake plants, they don't work quite as good. I have tried it. There's something about the real plants that works better. What you could do is you could, if it's not a windy day, you could just gel print outside. And then if there's, you know, a few critters, you don't have to worry about it. So I was going to mention, I think I mentioned Linda as my coloring buddy, but she's also my Stampin' Up enabler. And today she was showing a new product available. So if you're looking for a Stampin' Up demonstrator and you're in Canada, check out her Instagram or her YouTube channel. Hi, Joyce. I should put that fan on that other print that we have going here. Just gonna put it over there. Hi, Ivy Pearl. Good to see you. Sherry agrees that the fake plants are different. Yeah. It's almost like they're too slick. They don't really, the paint doesn't really adhere to them, so you don't get as good of an impression. Hey, Joanne, I missed you coming in. Good to see you. Thanks for coming, everybody. All right. So look at this. This is a cool, that's a cool color combo. What we could do is our next image, we could use white paint. I think I'll do white paint, pick it up, and then put this down on it to pick up the white after image. Okay, so I don't think, not sure if this one's dry. So if it feels cold, it's still wet. So let's just take a break. I'll just show you guys some of the inspiration. So these are some cards I got in Prince Edward Island. This is fabric art, felt art. This was from a magazine. I don't think I showed this yet, but it's like a little outdoor scene by Gordon Harrison. And then I also have these pages I did. These ones here, the last time I went to Prince Edward Island. So I'm kind of looking at doing something like that today. At the beginning of the stream, I showed what I've been up to. Showed a bunch of coloring pages. Is this a long pull on the plate? Not really. All right, Linda, have a good stream. So Linda streams every Wednesday at 2 Eastern. All right, so there's our first print. That is cool and bright. Let me put the fan over on this other one. So I like that. We're going to tear it up somehow. Okay, so we've got those. And let's do that white one we talked about. Let's see what other ones I have. All right. Yeah, those little no-see-ums. Try to squish them. Okay, so let's do white. Or, I think white, but I think we might need half white and half because I want to do a direct pickup, I'm going to use a little bit of golden open as well as regular white, so that we use a bit of golden slow drying open white with some just Liquitex white, so we have something that dries not too fast. Who's going for ice cream? I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. This is not coming out. It's almost empty. Let's see, do I have another white? Here we go. I have an Amsterdam white. I find the Amsterdam Standard Series and the Liquitex are very similar. Okay. And Joyce, I'm just seeing something that just be careful. Make sure you don't get scammed. So we're just going to use a little bit of both to hopefully slow the drying, but not have it so slow that it doesn't dry during stream. That's my hope. Let me get that back in there. Okay, there we go. Just going to kind of mix it like this. Okay, and then I didn't really think about what plants we're going to use, so let's just look in our little bag of bugs. Hopefully there's not too many bugs. You guys are going for ice cream. Are you going to Dairy Queen? What kind of ice cream are you getting? When I think of Dairy Queen, I think of my mom. My mom loved her blizzards. She just loved her blizzards. And they don't all have to face the same way, right? Let's do this one. It's a bit different, but that's okay. All right, so we're gonna use, don't want it on that. Let's use black. This is steak paper, so it's fairly thin. Jane says if I'm still on, they'll send an IG showing their cones. Nice. Well, enjoy. I think we're going to be getting rain here today. Okay. Oh, still quite a bit. Because it doesn't dry fast, it's not picking up very fast either. So let's do a little bit more. That's good news that it's not drying fast. There we go. Now I'm going to take these up and put this on right away. So that's more of a direct, yeah, I think those are clover, the flowers from the clover. And then putting them all in this bag. Hopefully they don't all stick together. I'm hoping to use them again. So I'm containing these. These are the used ones. And then here we have the non-used ones. And we're hoping to contain any little critters. Okay. Now this paper is a little bit thin, so there might be cracks in it, but that's okay. All right, let's see. This one's ready. Yeah, sorry about the commercials. But at least now you can still see what I'm doing during the commercials. It used to be, it just cut off totally. Okay, this was the one with the hosta leaf. So there's a few areas where it's a bit chunky. It's still drying. I think I'm going to just go for it and leave those chunks on there. That has to do with those little flower petals that came off, they left like a little bit of a thickness, right? But that should dry on there. Okay, just gonna push them down. So that's one that had the hostas. So that's cool. All right. So let's look at our color palette. We've got purple and green and like a citron yellow and aqua. Let's do some deeper blues maybe. Okay, so like a deep blue. How about this phthalo blue? And I'm just going to reach in and grab what I grab. I don't have a lot of different ones left. We could even use this for the pickup. This I'm going to keep, maybe put in a black and white journal. This would be fun to doodle in the areas. And again, I put too much paint on because I haven't been gel printing in a while. Okay, it's pretty good. Thanks, Joanne. Hi, Dot. Okay, we have these flowers. I feel like maybe we should do them like a stamp. Let's see if I can take off enough. Because of the ball on the bottom, it's hard to put the paper over it. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. I'll have to just squish them. Let's use our hosta at the top here. It's still wet. Some of the blue paint's coming off, which is kind of cool. I like that. And let's do, I'm going to just squish on the bottom so that we keep, actually let's use a piece of this. Here's where the thin paper comes in handy. I can like just keep those chunky parts there. Okay, and then just want to soften right there a little bit. Okay. So you can also use the plant as a stamp. All right, let's let that dry. Oops, and put that in here. Joanne, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to do the ATCs. I'm just going to have to see if it gets done. I'm hoping to do some Canadian themed ones, but I don't know if it's gonna pan out. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry. And remember, my plate's yellow because of using alcohol inks sometimes, but the plate still works fine. Okay, let's see how this was the one where we had the white images of the plants over the brayer off paper. So that's cool. I could see maybe using like ripping it this way to make like hills. Maybe we could do a vertical landscape. Okay, what if we use something on top of this? Should we use a blue? Let's bring that blue in that we just used. Looks like clouds. That's a good interpretation. Okay, we've got some clover here. So we could try to do the same thing we did with the white. Where we just leave the outline. So I'll try that. I do have actually I could use a golden opal. I got this ultramarine blue that we can mix with this oh, that's hard to open. So it's again, golden opal means that it doesn't dry as fast. Okay, let's do this. So I like these little thingy-majigs for opening my alcohol inks and for opening things like that. Okay. Oh, that's a lot. Because where I live, you might not need the golden opal, but where I live, it's quite dry. So if I do my initial squish and I pick it up and I try to put it down, I'm worried it won't be still wet enough, you know? And you can do ombres when you do your botanical printing. That looks pretty cool. What I'll do is I'll pull out in a second. I'll pull out one of my favorite botanical prints I've ever done. I'm going to keep these vertical to go with the other one. Trying to open up these, which is another reason it's good to keep the open paint. I think Diane Bell, she's not here today, but she does a lot of botanical printing as well, I think, using open paints. Maybe we can leave that like that. I'm not worried too much about composition because we're going to be, I'm planning to rip these up. Okay, and kind of like that one as is. Let's use this one. That might be cool. This has some white paint on it. Yeah, I'll try Joanne. We'll see. I'll see if I can get it done. Is that fan super annoying to you guys, or is it okay? It's just beside me there. Hi, Heidi. Good to see you. So even that is just pretty like that. That might make a good sky. And then we're going to try to combine. Hopefully this is still wet enough. Okay, let's see if that goes on there. That's the plan. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I've overlooked before. One leaf is sunshine, the other is rain. Red as the roses that grow in the plain. No need explaining, the one remaining is somebody I adore. I'm looking over a four-leaf clover that I've overlooked, that I've overlooked, that I've overlooked before. You can tell I used to tap dance as a kid. I know all these old songs. Okay, all right, this one's ready. Now, what if we do, I know we don't normally, this is going to be an abstract landscape. What if we use some pink, like a lighter pink, just to vary some of the color? Or we could use an orange. Let's see, this has kind of got a lot of the colors that we're using. So what would look better? Let's see. Could use like this color. That might be cool. Or a mixture. Maybe a mixture of those two. And we could do an ombre, but I don't know which way I'm going to be doing my collage. So I'm just going to do, I'm going to do it more random, or Jackie Bernardi calls it skip rolling. And I should get a piece of paper ready. And then I think after this print, we'll start ripping. We'll have like about an hour to work on the collage. Might get more than one done, I don't know. So I like to start with the lighter color first, burr some off, and then go with the darker color. And then use a bigger brayer to kind of even it out. Because you need paint everywhere. To pick up the image, you need to have it covered. Hi, Kathleen. Kathleen knows them from watching old movies on TV. Yeah, it's funny. We've been watching The Sopranos, and a lot of episodes of The Sopranos, they show him watching old movies, although they're not usually musicals. But I like watching old musicals, which I haven't done in a while. I should maybe do a Google search of, you know, some old movies like Singing in the Rain, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, you know, and then just try to find them to watch them. All right, so that might be interesting. Let us pull this one up. So that's very subtle. We still have some left on here. That's pretty. I wonder, it's not going to show on that. No. Let's just do a faint pull. Because there's just a little bit left. Let's use some blue and some of this light pink. We'll do an ombre. We may or may not use this piece. But I think it'd be cool to have it on that craft paper. So I'm going to use my big brayer. Sorry you guys can't see what I'm doing. Let me move up. So I did pink and the aqua. And then we can always add mark making after the collage is done, you know. And I didn't have my paper ready, so we're just gonna slap it on and then I'll cut it. This paper will wrinkle because it's quite thin, but the wrinkles can give it a really cool aged textured look. Hello, mediocre. What kind of paper do I use? So this here is a masking paper from the hardware store. For my better prints, I'll use like a thicker copy paper. This one is 28-pound Staples laser bright white. I have used a more expensive, slightly thicker one from a different company. I can't think of the name of it, but this is priced right. I like this one. It's a little bit thicker than regular copy paper, so it doesn't tend to wrinkle as much. It all depends on what I'm doing. All right, let's see if that other one's ready. Still a little cold, we'll see. Okay, see, things dry really quick here. So you might have to leave your prints on longer than what I've had to do. So that looks really good. I like the little sprinklings of that teal that was left over on the gel plate. You can see that. I might want to take a photo of some of these before I rip them up. So I'll do that with my iPad because I'm filming with my camera, so I can't really take a photo with my camera while I'm streaming. So we're just waiting for that last one. So these are what we have to work with. This we might use a piece or not. I don't know. I'm going to put it over there. This might be cool. Oh, you're welcome. Use what paper you have. If you have thick paper, sometimes you have to really push it down hard. I like the 28-pound. I think the other one that I had was a 32-pound, and that was really nice as well. And then this we might use. So those kind of, I feel like these kind of go together and those kind of go together. And this kind of goes with both. Okay, let me take a few photos with my iPad. They might not be the best photos, but I'm not going to be able to see chat for a minute. Hi, Leona. Okay, let's go to photos. Okay, so I'm just going to take a couple pictures. This one I don't think I need a picture of. I don't think I need a picture of that one. I do like this one. I'll take a picture of that one. Just, you know, I might not use the pictures, but I feel like I won't be afraid to tear them up if I have a picture of it, you know? This one I don't really need a picture of, but I'm going to take a picture. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go back to my YouTube. It is warm in here today. All right, so now we're going to build a landscape. Whoops. Let's see if this one's ready. There we go. So that one's very subtle. Those kind of go together. All right, so let's do, should we do one horizontal and one vertical? Let me just clean up, make some room. Make sure my gel plates don't fall over or whatever. It is warm in here. I think someone turned off the air conditioning. Okay, I could turn the fan off. I know you guys couldn't hear it, but whew, it was driving me a little crazy. Okay, and okay. So let's do those might make cool horizontal, like a vertical. That might be cool vertically. That's like horizontal clouds, that sort of horizontal. This, I think, would be cool vertical. I feel that would be good horizontal, but I don't know if it goes with this set here. So maybe we do the vertical. And then those can go together. Sure. All right. Now for inspiration, I also, so we have these for inspiration. Like if we did vertical and then had a focal image, that might be cool. It feels so quiet in here now. Whew. So this was, this is sort of a vertical one that would, I could do like a lake. Maybe this could be like the lake. And then we could rip up some stuff to go, no, that wouldn't really work. Some stuff to go up. Or maybe we just do vertical. I don't know. I think we just have to start ripping and see what happens. And I thought I could maybe put like a little deer in the foreground or something. So we'll see. All right, let's just start ripping. So we decided these are horizontal. Let me get a piece, a couple pieces of cardstock to build on. Looking for, just use white cardstock. 2 pieces, one vertical, one horizontal. Okay, so to me, I feel like I'm more comfortable with horizontal landscapes. Now this is 8 by 10, and these are, sorry, this is 8.5 by 11, and my gel plate is 8 by 10, so it's not going to go all the way across. That's okay. So I think that would be a cool sky. I feel like that would be really pretty in the foreground. We could do some different things. Okay. And just to remind myself, this was the one I had done a while back. Where is it? This one. So kind of hills, a river. Okay. All right, let's let her rip. Now, if you want there to be a white edge on your hill, you rip towards you. If you don't want there to be a white edge, you rip it the other way. I didn't really explain that very well, but. Okay, I'm trying to make that go down. Okay. It's So quiet in here now. Just gonna cut that because that's gonna be in the bottom, I think. I don't like that with that one. This one's really long. I could probably use it for both. Maybe. I almost like this one really simple. And then we could add black lines. Okay, let's get a ruler. Not that one. Okay, so if that goes like that, and that's our sky, and I want it to fit on the 8 by 10. I could almost rip a piece out from the bottom here. Okay. Sorry, I'm not looking at chat because my brain is going a little cray-cray. May or may not use that. Okay, so this has to go on the bottom. So let's do, no, this has to go on the bottom. Okay. Just tear this side. It's so funny because I wasn't thinking pink at all. But then that one pink page just said, use me. Okay. And we're going to cut that here. Trying to make it somewhat straight. We can always cut it down after. Okay. Then that's going to go here. That's going to go there. And we can always patch that with like a little bit extra blue here if we need to on this corner. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down first. I think I'm just going to use Aleene's tacky glue. And then we can decide to put matte medium over top if we want to. And you could spend time and go in your stash and, like, you know, take your time to pick out papers. But I wanted to have, you know, completed ones. So I'm just using, I think it's tacky, and then I'm using a glue stick to spread it and to make sure the whole surface of this paper is covered with adhesive. And trying to make it somewhat not bumpy, but if it's a bit bumpy, that's okay. Okay, so I put this here. So there's our sky. So Jane is saying she's here, or is it the paper saying, I'm here, I'm here? Okay, and then this one's going to go next. Right about there. Can you hear Lucy? Oh no, my glue went on my ruler. Okay, let's do this one. So I should put the lid on. And then use my glue stick. Lucy's being such a good girl. Having a good little nap under my table. Since I started coloring more, she's more comfortable in my room. And even though I'm making lots of noise with my paper, she's doing better. Although that could be partly because I think she's losing her hearing. She doesn't hear as well, so maybe that's why she's doing better in my room. Okay. Could extend that. that. Hi, Belinda. We did a bunch of botanical gel prints today, and we're ripping them up to try to make like some abstract landscapes. I do love that spot of green though. I don't think I want to cover that, do I? Oh well. Janet here. Hey, Janet. Okay. Oh. No, I still don't like that with that one. This could be a good spot for like a sun right here. Is that yellow, too yellow for that? I think we almost need like a pink sun. Ooh, that would be cool. Maybe this magenta. I should have put it under, but I didn't know that it needed it, did I? Let's get a big circle cutter. Got this. Now this paper, I'd have to put it onto another piece of paper to cut it. Because it's too thin. Okay, let's do that. Do we want, let's see something here. I kind of like that the clover, there's a clover here. Let's just do this one because it's closer to the edge. Let's see what that looks like. Just stick it there. Sure. Remember, this is an abstract landscape. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to make total sense. I could put 4 suns in there. Yeah, it's a lot of glue. Let's do it that way. I like kind of the, do it this way. gonna wipe my hands here for a second. I feel like I could add some lines here to make that like a river, some like a white, let me get my white panda fly pen. Hey Lucy, you want to go out downstairs? You want to stay here? You want to go downstairs? Okay, so let's do. Oops. Okay. I like it. I'll probably cut it there. And I feel like we should we do black or white? Maybe this needs more something. Do we want gold or black or blue? I'm thinking actually, let's use what color is this? That might work. This is a Pitt pen. It's a brush tip. Well, it's still wet. You can smudge it a little bit. I just thought black would be too stark, but we just wanted like a little bit of delineation there. Kind of like the white edge, so I'm going to just go below the white edge. Could use some ink tints to make that more bold. Okay, and then hi Candy. I just feel like doing a doodle inside this because it's so dark. We watched a super scary movie last night. It's called Obsession. It's about this guy who makes a wish that this girl would love him more than anything in the world, and she does, and she gets very obsessed. It's very creepy. Not sure about that. We could always paint it out. I'm gonna try to see if I can. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna put. It's too blank. I'm gonna put some marks, just kind of going up a little bit. This is, by the way, this color is, ooh, Indathrene blue. These ones are kind of crooked. Try to straighten them a bit. There we go. All right, so I'll probably just keep going crooked here. I'll take a break from this one, let it kind of rest, percolate. Okay, so let's let that rest a bit. Now I'm going to put it under a book to try to get it to go straight. So that's where we're at with this one. We could add some doodles in here, but I'm not sure about that. I don't think I want to do that. So let's try, so that's a horizontal landscape. I don't think I can really add anything to it. Maybe we could add some shapes, like some mushroom shapes or something, but let's leave it like that for now. So that's number one. All right, let's try to do a vertical landscape. Thanks, Kathleen and Anne. All right, so this one here, we're gonna do, I think it might be cool that these could be kind of trees coming up, but do we rip them? Let's rip them. We can cut them more after. So this is going to be kind of a top layer, but I just want to put it down so that we can see how it looks. So I'm just using my thumb to kind of guide the fussy ripping. When you're ripping napkins, you can use water. You could probably do that with this, but with the acrylic paint, I don't think water would really help you rip it as much. So normally I'd have 10 minutes left, but because Carol's not coming on, I might go a little bit longer to get the vertical landscape at least, you know, mostly started. So I don't really have, you know, I had a vague concept. It's not like I knew exactly what was going to happen. And sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised by what happens, and sometimes not so much. But today, so far, I'm really liking what we got going on. Okay, so we'll just rip one out for now, just for color, and then we might add another one after. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think water tearing would work on acrylic. Yeah, because it is plastic. So that's going to be like a tree somewhere. Maybe this will be at the top of one hill. This could be more here, but we'll wait for that. All right. And then I really liked this here, but they're not quite, let's see. This might be cool in the foreground. It's just, yeah, but if I wet the back, I can't really follow the line. The purpose is to follow the line, and on the back, I can't see the line. It's not that hard to rip. It's just to rip it, you know, accurately. I think I want that. I think I want this purple hill. Okay, so that there. And then I'll put that other one here, this one here. Let's see if we can do one of these. I think this would be kind of a cool, or this way, that would be a cool shape. Remember, I'm not an expert. I'm just someone having fun on the internets. Okay, so we have that in the foreground, and then we have this hill next. And then we'll have this here, I think. I like that. And then one of these here on the bottom, I think. We'll rip that in a second. So we need a few more hills. And a sky. This might make a cool sky. Just going to put that there for a second, just to see. Like, I like the pink at the top. Let's rip these. Jane, you're going to make me go to Dairy Queen today, aren't you? Or maybe that's water. This goes up here, and we could draw some water stuff on there. That goes there-ish, and then, let's see, maybe this would be better. I like how that one is more flat. Okay, let's start gluing down. So we're going to run out of time. Hey, Ambient. We're using Botanical Gelprints to make some abstract landscapes. We already did our horizontal one, I think, and now we're going to do a vertical one. And I might trim these down further. Okay, let's put that first, because that's going to be our sky and maybe our water. Okay, so I could use matte medium, but I don't want to take that much time. I'm just going to use some glue. So I'm using Eileen's Tacky Glue, and then I'm using a glue stick to spread it. So Ambient, I put a bunch of my, I showed a bunch of my coloring pages at the beginning of the stream. I know you are into coloring. If you want to check out the replay, check those out if you're interested. I do post most of my coloring on Instagram, sometimes on Facebook. I don't think Lucy liked that so much. Okay. Where's my little spatula thing? This. Lucy's out of here. She heard that. Okay. Got this at the front. Yeah, this is the front. And then we had this one. And then we'll put that here-ish. And then we're going to have one Look like that. We should angle that. It's like the lake, the sunset, and then we'll put another little tree. I think this one. So I'm just gripping this on the side. I do like this would be cool for the pond too, wouldn't it? I think we'll just go straight up this one. That will come down from here, there, and we could put this. Just wondering if that would make a better. So you're a vineyard, so you're a painter, and you have a vineyard commission right now. That's cool. That's super cool. Okay, so we're going to work back to front. So I'm going to put this piece down first. Let me get another piece of cardstock. Okay, let's glue these down quick and then put a few details on. Okay. So to be quick, I'm just going to, I think this paper is quite thin, so I can just use a glue stick, I think. I put some Aleene's tacky. So if you're doing a vineyard, is it for like a wine label? That would be a very cool job. Okay. All right. And then we had the pond. Do that. I think I had another piece, didn't I? I lost it. Well, we'll just use this piece for now. I'm going to go back on my wax paper. Okay, and then do this one. think, I'm not sure if I want to do that one. That's gonna go, let's just try it without it first. Maybe that was supposed to go down here. Definitely need something here. Okay, let's do that. A cat trainer? How do you train cats? So some people do amazing paper piecing too. This is kind of like paper piecing collage, but that's more like, I think, to make more accurate looking things. Okay, I'm just gonna put that there. No, I needed to put it higher, didn't I? Let's do that like that. And then let's do another piece of this. Okay. Oh, I see. Leash and harness trained. Have you ever seen that guy? There's this guy, I can't think of the name. He's got these cats, and one of the cats can push the buttons to say like what he wants. Like if he wants his jingle bell or his other cat toy or something like that. It's very cute. Okay, we're getting there. How late am I? Oh, not too bad. Normally I would have finished 10 minutes ago, but Carol told me she's not coming on today, so I'm just going a little bit long, especially since I haven't been streaming much. I'm a little maybe out of practice. Hi, Lucy. Okay. And then this one's going to go here. No, it wasn't Cat Daddy. It was Polly, or used to have a cat. Well, cat's name was Glamour, but she passed away. And Todd, I think it's Todd. Todd's the cat that pushes the buttons. Okay, this is going to go here. And then this one's going to go here. Like that. Oh, Lucy. She's making little noises. So I'm not sure if this is exactly what I envisioned when I was coming up with this botanical I'll move it over a bit. No, keep it there. Botanical abstract. I just ripped it. That's okay. We can rebuild it. We can repiece it. My hands are gluey, and that's the problem, is it's sticking to the print. There we go. I feel like I need something here. This needs something. No, like that. Feels like it just needs a little piece there to there, I'll just do that. How did I have that? Okay, we'll cut the edges off. That's going to go like that. I almost feel like I need to do the lines for the water first. Let's just use, we could just use that same Pitt pen. No, let's use Inktense pencil. That was close. Let's use just use this teal. I feel like we could almost put paintbrush. We can almost put some lily pads on there. Maybe I'll do that before next stream. So I will be streaming next week, and then Anne will be taking the week after. Just putting a few. This with my Inktense pencil. I like how Inktense pencils work over acrylic paint. And then we can do a little bit of this white. Okay. Then let's do this tree. It does look like seaweed. I think what's bothering me is that this is such a harsh line. I think I just need something to soften it. And I feel like this needs to be brighter, so I think we might use the intense pencils or a wash or something. Let me just cut off this extra stuff here, just so we can see it. Okay, and then I just want to put, I think I want this softened a bit. Everybody still hanging in there? Oh, I'm awfully quiet today. It was, I had fun streaming on Anne's channel. To have someone to talk to was really fun. How did I do that? I'll just do it like that. There, that's a bit softer transition there. Let me wipe my fingers. I feel like that's too muted, or it needs like a, like we did that pop of this here. Maybe this needs like a, let's see what a yellow circle would look like up there. Just to bring in, kind of tie the green back to here. I like it. And then I think I'm going to pump up that pink background. Maybe I should do that first. Let's do that first. Let's use, we could either do a wash of acrylic, or we could use the intense blocks. Let's just use the blocks. I just feel like there's a disconnect in the brightness. Let's use this one here. I'll just do, okay. It's lifting up the paper a bit. That's okay. Let me dry that. gun. Okay, and then let's slap our green circle on there. And I'm going to keep, there's sort of like a pattern to it. I'm going to keep it horizontal. Bonjour, bonsoir, Scrap Simone, ça va bien? Simone is from France. She does mixed media and she does coloring. Okay. Now, do we take our pit pen, wherever it may be, where did I put it? Like that. We've got our scraps. Some can go in the garbage. I think I want to like outline like we did here. I think I want to do that there as well, but I can't seem to find the pen I was using. Does anybody see it? Oh, there it is. Okay, get some of that off my I'm tempted to leave the top one not lined. And pit pens are India ink, so they are permanent once they dry. Just going by feel. I'm going to add some white. I decided to just put it in the purple area. We could do, tempted to do like some doodles here, but I don't know. I'm going to hold off on that. I was thinking about doing like a clover leaf, like a, yeah. And then I'd probably ink the edge. Let's just put this black. Hi, Evie. Just gonna use this gel stick. Probably should have done purple. I could get a purple gel stick out. Go over it maybe. Let me just grab the purple. Yes, so these are Pitt pen, our Faber-Castell Pitt artist pen. They come in different tips. I've got brush tips mostly. Just going to use a little bit of purple to get the edge off that black, that stark black there. What might look cool is we use some purple doodles here. And I gotta switch my finger. I like that better. Wipe my fingers. And I just thought of one more thing. I use this lime Languo gel pen just to do some doodles down here. We could do to kind of go with this fan shape here. Okay. All right, so we've got, I think, our two finished pieces. I'll have to date them, but so we've got this vertical landscape. I think it would be cool to put like some purple lily pads here. Like, I don't know, if we put a few of these little pieces here. I might do that for next time. I might add those little pieces in there. And then use the Pip pen. Well, let me just do it. Let's just do it. It will just take a second. So I'm not overthinking the placement too much. Okay. And then I'm just going to use this pen here. Do that. Just kind of do wet it a bit. And then use the white gel pen. Okay, so there's the lily pads there. There. All right, so this is collage 2, our vertical landscape, which I don't know if I've ever done a vertical landscape. And then collage 1, very, very simple horizontal landscape. I could add maybe some white dots up in the sky as well. We'll see. We'll see how that turns out next week when I come back for another session with you guys. So can I draw some tiny yellow flowers? Do you mean on these or on the lily pads? We could do some yellow flowers. I've got this yellow acrylic pen. Do you mean on, and do you mean on, oh, you mean on the lily pads? Okay, so we could just do. There you go. There's your lily pad flowers, Anne. Let's see if it focuses. There we go. So just use the white Sharpie acrylic marker. And then while it was still wet, I just went in with my Inktense pencil and just kind of like made some little scrabbles. All right. Thank you, Belinda. Thanks, Sherry. Good to see you guys. Thanks, Jackie. Yeah, thanks, Star Traveler, everybody. I appreciate your kind comments and spending your time with me. I know you guys have lots of things to do. Thank you if you're watching the replay. I appreciate my replay watchers. Thank you to my mods. Thank you, Anne and Janet. That's what all my lily pads. Thanks, Panka. And I'll remember to link Panka's Instagram. She does amazing botanical gel prints. So check her out on Instagram. And everybody have a great day. Bye-bye. See you next week. I have to take this off and stream. Okay, bye-bye.